Okay guys, so we're going to start with number 14. So the first thing is to make sure we read the problem. So it says it's composed of 4 regions of equal height. The triangle and trapezoid are isosceles, and we have our parallel sides. So it says this is comprised of 4 shapes of equal height. And it's telling you that each of these heights are going to have to be 24 divided by 4, which gives you 6. So this height is 6, this is 6, and I'll draw my right angles, and each of those have to be 6. So that is important because then we can go ahead and start right here with this top triangle. And because this top piece is 10 and that is 6, this is actually a 3, 4, 5, just twice as big. And so what that does is it creates this bottom green piece to be 8. And if that side's 8, we can say that, again, because this is isosceles, they told us in our little paragraph that the other side's going to be 8. And so we can then start finding the areas. Well, let's just continue on then. So what it does is I'm going to continue to build down. So I'm going to draw these straight lines down with some right angles and the straight line down again. Okay, so we're getting some rectangles and, again, right triangles. The important thing about them telling us that these pink lines are parallel is when these pink lines are parallel, we have corresponding angles that we know are congruent. And we also have a height of 6. So because we have in these 2 triangles that I'm looking at, these 2 pink triangles, we have the pink angles that are congruent, corresponding angles. We have the right angles that are congruent, and we have the height of 6. Therefore, the triangles are congruent by angle, angle, side. And if the triangles are congruent, I can say this side right here is 10, and this bottom side right here is 8. So we can obviously fill that out, the 10, the 6, and the 8 for each of these. And then obviously we have these 8s that continue on down, 8, 8. And so we know that the entire width of the bottom are 4/8 or 32. Okay, so then we can start actually calculating our area. To do that, the top triangles, we have 2 triangles, 2 times, and then it's 1/2 times the base times the height, and we have 2 of those. The rectangle here is just base times height. The base is actually 16 and the height is 8. Coming right here, we have 2 different things that I'm looking at. I'm actually going to pull out the same triangles as we did earlier. So we have 2 triangles that are 1/2 times 8 times 6. And then we also have that same rectangle that has a base of 16 and a height of 8. And I can kind of color code that for you right here. So here's this blue rectangle that I was speaking of that's 16 times 8. And I also have this blue rectangle right here, and that's the 16. Why am I putting 8? Guys, it's 16 times 6. Losing my mind. The height is 6. That's the kind of thing where I would finish the problem and be like, what did I do wrong? It is 16 as the base, and the height is 6. All of these have a height of 6. This is why I don't make videos this late. Can't make videos in the morning, can't make videos at night. I'm just old. And then we have our bottom shape right here. Again, this rectangle has a base of 32, and we already stated that each of our figures has a height of 6. So this would be 32 times 6. Once you go ahead and calculate this, so this ends up being 48. 60 and 36 is 96. And then again, we have a 48 and a 96 here as well. So a 48 and a 96. And 32 times 6 is 180 and 12, 192. So you're just going to go ahead and add all of these numbers up to get your final area. Okay. Jumping to number 17. So 17 asks you to find the area of each trapezoid. So immediately when I see something like this, I am going to assume that they want me to drop the height, or what we call the altitude. And I'm going to start off with this pink triangle right here. This pink triangle is obviously a 30, 60, 90. And in any 30, 60, 90, we can draw a reference one if we'd like to off to the side for remembrance. In any 30, 60, 90, we say that the smallest leg, or the leg across from the 30, is x, and the hypotenuse is twice x. And then you have your crazy middle child across from the middle angle, which is x root 3. So across from the 90 degrees, they're telling me is 12, which means across from the 30 is going to be half that, or 6. And that's important because that's the height of our trapezoid. So if that is 6, then the bottom here has to be 6 root 3. Okay, so we'll fill that in, and then we'll kind of move over here. I still can't find the area of this shape that they're giving me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop another altitude right here, and we're going to create another right angle. Now again, this is 6 over here. And what I did is I cut this 120 degree angle there, and I created a 90 degree angle and a 30 degree angle. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and work with this 30, 60, 90 triangle. And I am now going to be using the side across from the 60, which is 6. So the side across from the 60, if you look back at our reference triangle right here, is x root 3. So we're going to go ahead and set that 6 equal to x root 3. So we're going to divide by root 3 to solve for this. And if you guys remember, you cannot leave a root 3 in the denominator. So I'm going to simplify this by multiplying by root 3 and multiply by root 3. So you get 6 root 3 over 3, and that reduces to 2 root 3. That ends up being what x is. And so what that means is that this green piece at the top right here is that 2 root 3. And so if this entire top is 5 root 3, and this piece is 2 root 3, okay, 5 root 3 minus 2 root 3 leaves me with 3 root 3. So now I know the bottom is also 3 root 3 right here. And so from here, you can go ahead and you can start calculating the area. Now it's up to you. If you would like to, you know that obviously this bottom right here is 9 root 3. And so I personally like to find the median. So the median is 1/2 the bases added together. So 5 root 3 and 9 root 3. So 5 and 9 is 14, and half of that means the median is 7 root 3. So if you just take the median and multiply it by the height, which is 6, you get 7 root 3 times 6, and that's why the area of this shape is 42 root 3. Looking at B over here, I see that, again, they tell me that this is a trapezoid, and that's important because you have your alternate interior angles. So we have our 30 degree angle right here, and so this is obviously, again, another 30, 60, 90. I can drag my reference triangle over to this problem because we're going to be using this 30, 60, 90 kind of as a reference. Again, they're telling me across from the 90 is 12. So this side obviously has to be 6, and then just in case I'll need it, this side right here has to be 6 root 3. Now I see some tick marks here, and so those tick marks are telling me that this also has to be 6, and that this bottom piece also has to be 6. So we have our bases, we just don't have our height yet. So if we would like to, there's a couple ways you guys could do this. If you want, you can find the area, you can drop this right here, and you can find the area of this blue triangle, and you can go ahead and add it to the area of this pink triangle. Is that the way we want to go? We can do that. Another way for you to do this is I would drop a height right here, and this would be a right angle, and now this is an altitude drawn to a hypotenuse. You can treat this a couple different ways. So again, this is a 30, 60, 90, and they're telling you obviously that, across from the 90 is 6, which means across from the 30 has to be 3. Okay, and then this side right here would have to be 3 root 3. And so that is the height then of your trapezoid. So to find the area of your trapezoid, again, I like to do median times height. So off, like on the side, I'm thinking to myself, this base is 12, this base is 6. So 12 and 6 together is 18. Half of 18 is 9. The median is just the average of the bases. And then the height is 3 root 3. So 27 root 3 should be the area for shape B. And again, let's just make sure that's what I have. 27 root 3, yep. Boom. And 42 root 3. And then the last problem we're going to do is 9. So let's jump to 9 on the next page. So for 9, I put in some numbers for you just to do this kind of a little bit more quickly. So you can see that I tried to underline where I got the numbers from. So starting at the top, I actually started with this pink side, and I looked at the difference between going from 8, again, you're going on the X, you're jumping from 8 all the way to 12, which is why I jumped 4 spaces. I did the same thing with this purple side. I was jumping from this 7 down to this 3. And so to do that, I jumped down 4. And then to jump down from 3 to 0, I had to jump down 3 more. That's the blue side. And you can see the green side. I went from 0 to 12. That's why the green side is 12. So I actually pulled out all these numbers first, and you can see all the different numbers. After I did that, what I did is I found the area of triangle 1, and that area is the pink side 4 times the purple side 4, and then obviously times 1/2. So the area of that shape is going to be 8. The area of triangle 2 is going to be the yellow side, which is 7, times the orange side, which is 8, and then of course times 1/2 because it's a triangle, and so that is 28. And then we have the area of triangle 3, which is the green side, 12, times the blue side, which is 3, and of course because it's a triangle you times it by 1/2. Half of 12 is 6, 6 times 3 is 18. So we have the area of our 3 triangles, and then it asks to find the area of the shaded triangle, I believe. And so, so this is A. The shaded triangle, what I would do is I would actually find the area of the rectangle. So find the area of this entire blue rectangle right here. And of course, to do that, it's just the green side, which is 12, times the yellow height, which is 7. Keep in mind we want you to practice mental math. So 7 times 10 is 70. 7 times 2 is 14. 70 and 14 gives you 84. So what I would do is I would take that rectangle and I would subtract out triangle 1. I would subtract out triangle 2. And I would subtract out triangle 3. So I would take all that away. Whatever is left is going to be the area of your shaded region.